Hello and welcome to Olean, New York for Heiser Media's coverage of the 2024 Mid-Atlantic Collegiate Championship presented by MVP Disc Sports. I'm Nathan Johnson, joined in the booth today by Jesse Longenecker and Alexis Kerman.
Hey everyone, Alexis here with College Disc Golf, just explaining our team play format for our mixed event. We have 4 people per team, an odd pair, and then we also have an even pair who play best shot alternating team doubles. So hole 1, our odd pair will always tee off or on odd holes, and on even holes, our even pair will always tee off. So as you can see, our odd pair for both teams have thrown their drives on hole 1, and now our even pair for both teams are going to throw their approaches or putts to the pin. And then the hole will finish out alternating throughout the pairs within the team of 4.
Take a quick look at who we have on our card today. We have in first place, currently Liberty University Red, team consisting of Timothy Schmidt, Jonah Burdick, Addison Sells, and Grayson Litto. And also tied for first, Slippery Rock University Green, Samuel Wilson, Jonathan West, Cameron McFeely, and Eric Baumgartner. Alexis, taking a look at this leaderboard here, what do these scores represent?
So we're looking at the average single scores for each of these programs' teams. So they just had their singles event, and that's how we have our totals here on the right side, and what they'll go into the team round with.
Yeah, starting this team round, Jesse, here we are at hole 1.
Yeah, so hole 1 at Gargoyle Park is a very park-style golf course with a few wooded holes, and hole 1 is an excellent representation of what the majority of the course looks like. Got a couple different options. There's a straight shot down the middle. There's a hyzer kind of out over the road, which is OB. Let's see what they decide.
Yeah, so we've got a very unique format in collegiate teams. So on this card, of course, we have our Liberty and our Slippery Rock team. And as you can tell, we have 2 players from our Slippery Rock team of 4 who are going to tee off on all odd holes. So I believe that is Eric Baumgartner and Samuel Wilson. And then here we have our Liberty Red team odd pair who will also tee off on all odd holes for the remainder of the round.
Correct. Grayson Lifto, as well as teeing off now is Jonah Burdick is the odd pair. And then from there, they will just play basically best shot doubles with either pair alternating between the two. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. So now that all of our odd pairs have teed off, you'll see we have our even pairs that are going to now take the second shots or these putts. So both people in the pair will play that kind of best shot from the odd pairs drives.
As we see a very nice birdie putt from Slippery Rock to get on the board. As we cut over to Liberty, we're going to see Addison Sells tap in the birdie on hole 1 to get Liberty on the board as well. Bit of a complicated format here in collegiate disc golf, but you all will learn as we go.
So hole 2 here is similar distance to hole 1. You're going to see a lot of people throwing right-handed forehands over kind of a large tree stump on the left side. It's difficult to get the height right on this one.
So we still have Slippery Rock teeing off Now they're even pair on the tee of hole 2.
Yep, that was Jonathan West with a nice forehand park job there, which basically gives the green light to Cameron McFeely going down the right-hand side. Throws a nice shot as well.
Yeah, that's one of the fun things about college disc golf that is so unique. So you see the doubles format. One person puts it close, and you got the green light to give it a bid.
Yeah, also can add a little bit of pressure as we see Addison Sells a little bit off there on his drive. So the pressure is on Tim Schmidt here to give Liberty a look. Also, Jesse, we're seeing the rain jackets come out today. What was the weather like out there on the course for the team round?
Yeah, so it was kind of off and on drizzle throughout the day, but overall pretty solid conditions if you don't mind the rain. There was not a whole lot of wind. Pretty calm, hazy day.
Yeah, seeing the umbrellas in the background. So Liberty not able to put it close. They're going to have a couple of very long birdie putts, but in this collegiate doubles format, you'd expect both players to give it a good run. Or at least the second player now after that first layup.
Definitely looks like we're trying to throw a forehand in here. A little turned over. Either way, they'll be able to clean up their par.
Yeah, so Slippery Rock tapping in the birdie. Going to grab themselves an early lead over Liberty. Will have to settle for the par here as we move right along into hole 3.
Hole 3 is kind of a tweener, par 3, par 4. Is very tough, so going to be a fun one to watch teams attack. You'll probably see the first person throw a kind of safer shot down into the middle, and then the second person might attack with a roller, or you might see both go roller. The only thing to note is there is an OB on the right side as you get closer to the basket.
Yeah, this hole was by far the hardest hole on the course during the singles round. So you'd expect the same here for the doubles portion. But yeah, like you said, Jesse, holes like this are kind of perfect for this format where you can have players maybe throw some shots that they normally wouldn't.
Yeah.
We saw Samuel Wilson getting very aggressive there after Eric Baumgartner just kind of landed in the fairway.
As we see Grayson lining up the roller here. Looks like he got it down on a good angle.
Oh, and catches some logs. That's a tough break. It was looking really nice if that continued to roll, but just a bit inside. Looks like going for the same line with Jonah Burdock, but a little too much cut. Just pushes straight. All right, so Jesse, as our resident collegiate disc golf player, how do you feel on the whole argument between does the first player lay up, does the second player lay up, do both players run it on some of these shots like I assume we're going to see here coming up from Liberty?
Yeah, it's interesting. It's one of the things that makes college disc golf so unique. I think there's a large part of disc golf is decision making, and that gets amplified in the doubles format. I think a lot of it depends on, the shot and how much risk there is, but that's a fun thing. You get to see teams decide, and sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah, definitely situational depending on the opportunity, the deathiness maybe of the putt. Liberty ends up putting it close to save their par, but Slippery Rock's still got a little bit of meat left on the bone for their par shot. First one just going to lay it up. Like you said, there is OB back there. So we will see if Eric Baumgartner can knock this one down and save the par. Respect the commitment, but just a bit off. So they are going to have to tap in the bogey, dropping them back to 5 under. We are once again tied at the top. Taking a quick look at the scores after hole 3. A couple teams off to a hot start.
Yeah, it's still really tight, so we'll see what happens.
I think the Black Hole Pro is the best practice basket I ever had at home.
I think the Black Hole Pro is a great practice basket.
I think the Black Hole Pro is one of the best teaching tool putting baskets that there is.
What I love most about this basket is that it catches really well.
Its chains are very solid for catching. They have a good heft to them.
It's pretty lightweight. You can put it in the back of your car easily.
If you're looking for a great solution for a practice basket and you don't want to break the bank, Black Hole Pro.
Hole 4 here, we have a very tight fairway. There's a number of different gaps here. You're going to see a lot of people throw right hand forehands down the left side. Some people go straight up the middle, but it's very tight. Some might consider it lucky, but there's lines to be hit.
A lot of late trees to miss on this one. Addison does catch one of those on his way in.
See if Tim Schmidt, his partner, on the even, laces it. Wow, what a shot. That was as perfect as I feel like it can get there.
Wow, yeah, it just absolutely peered that tight gap. There's that left side you were talking about, Jesse. It's just as tight, but maybe the tree trunks are a little bit skinnier over there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, neither of the two Slippery Rock players able to get through, so gonna have to scramble to save their par.
So as
An added feature of this hole is sort of a mounded green, which lines up some difficult decisions like we were just talking about with running putts.
Yeah, so it's really interesting with this team format because Jonathan and Cameron, who teed off, really left some work for Eric and Samuel to try to get them up and down for their par there.
Yeah, hopefully no building up resentment. You know, that could be another dynamic of this. Hopefully, doesn't come into play today.
As we move on to hole 5, a very pretty fairway with OB lining the right side and a slight drifting left. You're going to see a lot of people throw fairway drivers, trying to stay away from that right side. And one thing to note, there's OB path long and right for the basket.
Yeah, this is a beautiful hole. Plays nicely for that. Just subtly flipping up fairway driver with a little fade at the end. Strange reaction. That disc rolls into the puddle. But a good shot nonetheless.
It's a very common mistake that you're going to see people going left. There's branches on the right side, and that OB line can be daunting.
This one is looking great. If it gets a little bit of late stability, coming up a bit short. Still a long putt. See if Sam Wilson can improve on that line.
See, Sam's got the towel out on the tee pad. Definitely a little slick and wet out there.
The old Mike Moser strategy. If it was a beach towel, I would be. That's how you know. That's how you know he's a local. Tricky look over here in the woods. Got a tiny little gap to putt through.
Yeah, they both just hit that little small branch bush right in front of them.
Yep, it's a tough lie. Got a long look for Liberty as well. Good run there. Just a bit high from Addison.
I'd say this definitely gives Tim the go-ahead to also run this putt. See if he can make it. Oh, high as well, but some good bids by the Liberty Red team there.
Yeah, don't want to leave it low in doubles, so yeah, they definitely checked that one off. But no birdies for either team on this one on the 5th. Gonna have to settle for par. Potentially an opportunity for some of these other teams in the field to make up some ground, because this one was definitely gettable.
Definitely.
Hole 6 is slightly more gettable hole. It's a 300-foot straight putter shot for a lot of people. I'm gonna have some trees late with the basket kind of on a ridge, but you can kind of get it to settle into a bowl there right before the basket.
Nicely thrown forehand there for Addison coming up. That circle's edge range.
Should give them a look, and we'll see if Tim can put it even closer now.
Opting for the backhand line, and just catches a branch on the fairways. We saw it a lot in the singles round. If you haven't checked out that coverage, we have the final night on Kaiser Media's YouTube channel. But there's a lot of branches that come into play with the ceilings of these fairways. Definitely height control of your disc is something important. That was well controlled from Slippery Rock, giving them a birdie look, and this one is looking nice as well.
Oh, so nice. Cameron throws such a great shot, but then it kind of rolls down the hill there a little long. So we'll see which option they decide to take between their two.
This one looks just outside the circle for Liberty, and just a bit left on the miss there. Probably taking a look, see how long that comebacker is before, deciding to lay it up.
That's the nice thing about the team round is you have your teammates you can discuss these things with. How often are you discussing things with your team, Jesse?
Yeah, it's interesting. Very often. I was kind of surprised to see them lay that one up. And that's one of the unique things. You're going to see different teams take different strategies, but respect sticking to the game plan.
For sure. Keeps it very interesting, and we'll have Liberty cleaning up their par, and then Slippery Rock should clean up their par here.
Yeah, ended up choosing a pretty tricky lie for their putt behind that big tree you see in the background. Both players not able to connect on the birdie putts from there, so having to settle for par as well.
We've got another leaderboard check-in here, and it's still pretty tight. We've got Liberty Red and now Liberty White coming up, so we'll see what happens here.
Just the way it goes.
Heading into hole 7 here, we see a very tight gap off the tee pad, and then kind of in the middle of the fairway there's this mound in the middle, which creates a tough ceiling for players to hit, and then you got to check up the disc nice and quick before it goes long.
Yeah, players looking to just barely fly that mound, maybe even skip off of it. Early release there for Liberty. I think that was Grayson.
Yeah,
This
Grayson
is
Lifto. And this is Jonah Burdick.
also a bit off, so Liberty going to be scrambling here on the 7th, one of the shorter holes on the course. Not what you're looking for. Let's see if Slippery Rock can hit this gap and
Tough
Not-
gap, tough gap.
Yeah, not a great release. Very late there.
Samuel Wilson sneaks through and gets a skip up this mound here.
And this is where this hole gets very tricky. With it being such a tight gap off the tee, you see a lot of teams hit early, and then there's a bunch of trees the size of your wrist on the approach that you have to navigate, as Addison does beautifully.
Yeah, great scramble shot thrown there that will lead to a par save. Does give the green light for a run, and he hits the band. Oh, what a shot.
I was thinking, there's no way he's not running this, right? That was so good.
Oh, man, what a great effort. Couple of long bids now for Slippery Rock. Samuel Wilson just a bit off, so they will be putting for par as well.
Easy enough. Cleaning that up. Nice putt from Eric.
And the tap in there from Jonah.
Heading into hole 8, this is a bit of a unique par 3. It's 312 feet with an early turn, kind of in the fairway, and then it straightens out to this nice sunny green with Aubin right behind it.
Yeah, suits up well for this flex forehand line that we're going to see Addison take here. He's got it on a good angle early. Let's see if it holds. Not quite, does fade out a bit early. But should be a straightforward par from there.
Now we have Tim, who's going to throw a backhand shot here. Looks like he's pushing too straight, though, and kind of hits in that same area that Addison leaked and faded out with his forehand, too. See if Slippery Rock can hit this fairway here.
Just looked a bit overturned from Jonathan. Didn't quite get the angle right. See if Wilson can make the adjustment. Or sorry, that was
That's
Cameron
a, that's a
McPhee.
very common mistake with the backhand, is yanking it to the right there. It's tough to, you want to start it out on hyzer and kind of have it flip late.
Yeah, got to be careful with these approach shots. Like you said, Jesse, there is that out of bounds behind the basket, so you'll want to make sure you got at least one of them close before giving this a full run. But I don't even know if Liberty will have a chance to run it from in here. Oh, I spoke too soon.
It looks like this is kind of on a mound, Jesse. Making those approaches a little hard to come in softly. See some rolls or some skips off of it.
No, the out of bounds definitely comes in quick.
So 2 good runs from Liberty, but neither able to connect. So a couple more tap-in pars for the card. Both these teams kind of stalling out. That's going to be 4 pars in a row for Liberty, 5 in a row for Slippery Rock. Giving these other teams a chance. In this format, if your team gets hot, you can rattle off some birdies, as in any doubles format. So we'll see. Things are definitely going to be tightening up here.
Yeah, if you haven't got the birdies going yet, this is an excellent chance. 315 feet with a very tight gap off the tee. One thing to note, there's OB to the right side, and if you don't hit the gap, it does offer a very tricky approach into the green where you're going to see a lot of forehands.
So we're back with our Liberty Red odd pair. What a beautiful shot.
That is beautiful with the trust over the out of bounds, fading back.
Yeah, see See if Jonah can improve on it. Does catch the tree in the middle of the fairway, but that is okay because his teammate is already quite close.
You know, I always felt like that was the hardest thing with teams is once your partner just pures the line, it's like, well, all I can do is ace it now. And then half the time you hit a tree, so still good effort. The heart was there.
Exactly. As long as you give the commitment.
Yes.
And yeah, the intention to ace run, that's all that matters. So both these teams kind of ended up right here around these clump of trees, a bit short of the basket. Slippery Rock having to go through the gap there.
Little
Not the
trick
easiest
shot.
line. Yeah.
Looks like Cameron's gonna straddle out here.
And unable to connect. So putting kind of a bit off for both of these teams. Had a lot of circle's edge and longer looks, and nobody really able to capitalize. Liberty with a short birdie look here. It's going to give them a 2-stroke cushion over Slippery Rock for now. But after Slippery Rock and Samuel Wilson tap in their par, going to take a look at the rest of the field here in the leaderboard after 9 holes of team play.
Yeah, so our Liberty Red team played a pretty solid, clean front 9, getting 3 birdies, while Slippery Rock did card 1 bogey. You can see there's several tied second. We have Liberty White and Eastern Mennonite really close, only 1 stroke behind Liberty Red going into the back 9. So we'll see how it all ends up there.
Yeah, it's going to be tight all the way to the finish. Thanks to Elevation Discs for supporting this coverage. We've got 9 more holes of team play coming to you here at the Mid-Atlantic Collegiate Championship. So make sure to subscribe to Heiser Media and catch that coverage. We'll have it coming to you soon.